Hello guys, I wish a very brilliant, beautiful and bright day for all of you. Today I will take up the third unit of the topic My Greatest Olympic Prize. Now let's go into the text. That night I walked over to Lajlang's room in the Olympic Village to thank him because of the wise counsel of Lajlang. The writer was able to qualify himself for the finals tomorrow. And if he had not advised him, it would not have been possible on the part of the writer, Jesse Wentz, to participate in the final games tomorrow. So that night, Jesse Wentz paid a visit to Lajlang's room in order to express his gratitude for his timely help. And at some time, he wanted to give his thanks to him. And I know that if it had not been for him, probably I would not be jumping in the finals. The following day, the writer had the knowledge that without Lajlang's timely help, but for him, he would not be able to participate in the final competition that would be held tomorrow. And so he had gone to his room that night to express his sincerity and gratitude. And he says that we sat in his quarters and talked for 2 hours. The writer Jesse Wentz sat in Lajlang's quarters, and they had a friendly chit-chat. They gossiped for about 2 hours and about the track and field, ourselves, the world situation, and dozen of things. They talked about many things about the world situation, talked about themselves, the track and field, and so many other things they discussed. At the time of departure, when I finally got up to leave, we both knew that a real friendship had been formed. At the time when it was time for Jesse Wentz to leave the Lajlang's room, at the time of departure, when he took leave of Lajlang, he had already realized that in the meanwhile, during his chit-chat with Lajlang, there developed a genuine friendship between themselves. Lodge would go out to the field the next day and trying to beat me if he could, and the writer had known that though Lajlang had in the meantime turned into a friend, he would go to the field the next day and he would leave no stone unturned to beat him, to vanquish him, to conquer him, because he was a sportsman, and he would definitely exhibit his sportsmanship at the finals tomorrow. The writer had knowledge of it. But as a friend, Jesse Wentz knew that Lajlang wanted him to perform his best. Even if it meant his winning. As a friend, Lajlang actually desired that Jesse Wentz should win the match. That doesn't mean that Lajlang would intentionally be defeated from Jesse Wentz. He had the desire, he had the intention, he had the passion for Jesse Wentz to bag the gold medal at the finals in the long jump. Then come to third para. As it turned out, Lodge broke his own past record. In doing so, he pushed me on to a peak performance. And at the finals, Lajlang broke his own past record, and in doing so, he almost pushed Jesse Wentz to display, to exhibit, to demonstrate his best performance. I remember that at the instant I landed from my final jump, the one who set the Olympic record of 26 feet, 5 and 1 by 4 inches, he was at my side, and when it was the turn of Jesse Wentz, he made the world record by jumping 26 feet, 5 and 1 by 4 inches at that time. As a true friend, Lajlang was by his side and congratulating him. Despite the fact that Hitler glared at us from the stands not 100 yards away, and at that time Adolf Hitler was disappointed because of the poor performance of Lajlang, and because Lajlang was shaking hands and congratulating Jesse Wentz Adolf Hitler was standing at a distance, glared at him and looked at them angrily because his Maven player, Lars Lang, had been defeated. And despite being defeated, he was congratulating Jesse Owens, the American player. Lars shook my hand, and it wasn't a fake smile with a broken heart sort of grip either. And while shaking hands with Jesse Owens, Lars Lang was smiling, and it was a real smile, and he was not at all broken-hearted. He was not at all disappointed. As a true friend, he was shook hands with Jesse Owens, and this is the example of a genuine friendship between two persons. Says the writer, his smiling was not fake, it was not counterfeited, it was original and genuine smile displayed by his lips. In the next stanza, the writer says, you could melt down all the gold medals and cups I have, and they would not be reflecting on the 24-carat friendship I felt for Lars Lang at that time. The writer is so much delighted, so much joyous with his friendship that he had formed, he had made with Lars Lang, that he says that you melt down all the cups and medals I've got throughout my life, throughout my career as a sportsman, and then make a golden plating, golden sheet, and you cover me and him with that golden sheet, and that golden sheet would not be sufficient, would not be adequate to cover our friendship. In this way, they had a pure friendship, a genuine friendship, and he compares his friendship with a 24-carat gold, meaning that is pure gold, or his friendship, on the other hand, was quite pure, immaculate, and clean. Then the writer says, I realized then too that Lars was the epitome of what Pierre de Coubertin, founder of modern Olympic Games, must have had in his mind when he said, the important thing in the Olympic Games is not winning but taking part. The essential thing in life is not conquering but fighting well. At that time, Jesse Owens, remember the father of modern Olympic Games, the founder of modern Olympic Games, Pierre de Coubertin, who was a French educator, and he said the most important thing in the Olympic Games is not winning, not victory, but participation is the most essential thing in the Olympic Games, and the most important thing in life, when anyone's life, is not fighting, is not conquering, but fighting well. Meaning you have to learn fighting. Conquering should not be your aim, and you go on fighting, and your victory may or may not come to you, but learn how to fight. And therefore, in this way, Lars Lang was an epitome, a symbol of the ideals and idealisms of Coubertin, the father of modern Olympic Games. Remember that Jesse Owens qualified. Jesse Owens won the gold medal at the Olympic long jump by jumping 26 feet 5 and 1 by 4 inches. It was also an Olympic record, though at the inverted level he had jumped to 26 feet 8 and 1 by 4 inches. He defeated Lars Lang, but Lars Lang was not at all disappointed because he had, in the meantime, he had developed a very immaculate and authentic and pure friendship with Jesse Owens, which is described by Jesse Owens as 24-carat friendship, meaning it was pure friendship. I realize that you might have understood this video, and if you like it, please share and subscribe it to your friends. Thanking you once again.